It is Friday. Welcome to Mariposa Storytime. And that means we have Winnie the Pooh. Karen, text me if we're broadcasting because it doesn't look like it on my end. At any rate, here we go. We are. Just got confirmation. Just wanted to make sure. So today is Friday. That means it's Winnie the Pooh Day at Mariposa. And we are on chapter 6. And today, with my trusty ribbon, we are reading about Eeyore has a birthday and gets 2 presents. We're glaring on the window back there pretty good. We'll just shift this over here. Eeyore, the old gray donkey, stood by the side of the stream and looked at himself in the water. Pathetic, he said. That's what it is, pathetic. He turned and walked slowly down the stream for 20 yards, splashed across it, and walked slowly back on the other side. Then he looked at himself in the water again. As I thought, he said, no better from this side, but nobody minds. Nobody cares. Pathetic, that's what it is. There was a crackling noise in the bracken behind him, and out came Pooh. Good morning, Eeyore, said Pooh. Good morning, Pooh Bear, said Eeyore gloomily. If it is a good morning, he said. Which I doubt, he said. Why? What's the matter? Nothing, Pooh Bear. Nothing. We can't all, and some of us don't, and that's all there is to it. Can't all what? Asked Pooh Bear, rubbing his nose. Gaiety song, here we go round the mulberry bush. Oh, said Pooh. He thought for a long time and then asked, What mulberry bush is that? Bonhomie, went on Eeyore gloomily. French word meaning bonhomie, he explained. I'm not complaining, but there it is. Pooh sat down on a large stone and tried to think this out. It sounded to him like a riddle, and he was never much good at riddles, being a bear of very little brain. So he sang Cottleston Pie instead. Cottleston pie, Cottleston pie, a fly can't bird, but a bird can fly. Ask me a riddle and I'll reply. Cottleston pie. That was the first verse. When he had finished it, Eeyore didn't actually say that he didn't like it, so Pooh very kindly sang a second verse to him. Cottleston pie, a fish can't whistle and neither can I. Ask me a riddle and I'll reply. Cottleston pie. Eeyore still said nothing at all, so Pooh hummed the third verse to himself very quietly. Cottleston pie, what does a chicken? I don't know why. Ask me a riddle and I'll reply. Cottleston pie. That's right, said Eeyore. Sing, tum tiddly umpty too. Here we go gathering nuts in May. Enjoy yourself. I am, said Pooh. Some can, said Eeyore. Why, what's the matter? Is anything the matter? You seem so sad, Eeyore. Sad? Why should I be sad? It's my birthday, the happiest day of the year. Your birthday? Said Pooh in great surprise. Of course it is, can't you see? Look at all the presents I have had. He waved a foot from side to side. Look at the birthday cake, candles and pink sugar. Pooh looked, first to the right and then to the left. Presents? Said Pooh. Birthday cake? Said Pooh. Where? Can't you see them? No, said Pooh. Neither can I, said Eeyore. Joke, he explained. Ha, ha. Pooh scratched his head, being a little puzzled by this. But is it really your birthday? He asked. It is. Oh, well, many happy returns of the day, Eeyore. And many happy returns to you, Pooh Bear. But it isn't my birthday. No, it's mine. But you said many happy returns. Well, why not? You don't always want to be miserable on my birthday, do you? Oh, I see, said Pooh. It's bad enough, said Eeyore, almost breaking down. Being miserable myself, what with no presents and no cake and no candles and no proper notice taken of me at all. But if everybody else is going to be miserable too, this was too much for Pooh. Stay there, he called to Eeyore, and he turned and hurried back home as quick as he could, for he felt he must get poor Eeyore a present of some sort at once, and he could always think of a proper one afterwards. Outside his home, he found Piglet jumping up and down, trying to reach the knocker. Hello, Piglet, he said. Hello, Pooh, said Piglet. What are you trying to do? I was trying to reach the knocker, said Piglet. I just came round. Let me do it for you, said Pooh kindly. So he reached up and knocked at the door. I have just seen Eeyore, he began, and poor Eeyore is in a very sad condition because it's his birthday and nobody has taken notice of it, and he's very gloomy. You know what Eeyore is? And there he was, and what a long time whoever lives here is taking answering the door. Then he knocked again. But Pooh, said Piglet, it's your house. Oh, said Pooh, so it is, he said. Well, let's go in. So they went in. The first thing Pooh did was to go to the cupboard to see if he had a quite small jar of honey left, and he had, so he took it down. I'm giving this to Eeyore, he explained, as a present. What are you going to give? Couldn't I just give it two? Said Piglet. From both of us? No, said Pooh. That would not be a good plan. Oh, all right then, I'll give him a balloon. I've got one left from my party. I'll go and get it now, shall I? That, Piglet, is a very good idea. It's just what Eeyore wants to cheer him up. Nobody can be uncheered with a balloon. So off trotted Piglet, and in the other direction went Pooh with his jar of honey. It was a warm day, and he had a long way to go. He hadn't gone more than halfway when a sort of funny feeling began to creep all over him. It began at the tip of his nose and trickled all the way through him and out to the soles of his feet. It was just as if somebody inside him were saying, "Now then, Pooh, time for a little something." Dear, dear, said Pooh, I didn't know it was as late as that. So he sat down and took the top off his honey jar. Lucky I brought this with me, he thought. Many a bear gone out on a warm day like this would never have thought of bringing a little something with him. And he began to eat. Now let me see, he thought, as he took his last lick of the inside of the jar. Where was I going? Ah, yes, Eeyore. He got up slowly, and then suddenly he remembered he had eaten Eeyore's birthday present. Uh-oh. Bother, said Pooh. What shall I do? I must give him something. For a little while he couldn't think of anything, and then he thought, well, it's a very nice pot, even if there's no honey in it, and if I washed it clean and I got somebody to write a happy birthday on it, Eeyore could keep things in it, which might be useful. So as he was passing the 100-acre wood, he went inside to call Owl, who lived there. Good morning, Owl, he said. Good morning, Pooh, said Owl. Many happy returns on Eeyore's birthday? said Pooh. Oh, is that what it is? What are you giving him, Owl? What are you giving him, Pooh? I'm giving him a useful pot to keep things in. And I wanted to ask you, is that it? Asked Owl, taking it out of Pooh's paw. Yes, and I wanted to ask you. Somebody has been keeping honey in it, said Owl. You can keep anything in it, said Pooh earnestly. It's very useful like that, and I wanted to ask you, you ought to write happy birthday on it. That's what I wanted to ask you, said Pooh, because my spelling is wobbly and the letters get in the wrong places. Would you write a happy birthday on it for me? It's a nice pot, said Owl, looking at it all round. Couldn't I give it to from both of us? No, said Pooh, that would not be a good plan. Now I'll just wash it first, and then you can write on it. Well, he washed the pot out and dried it, while Owl licked the end of his pencil and wondered how to spell birthday. There's Owl wondering. Can you read, Pooh? He asked, a little anxiously. There's a notice about knocking and ringing outside my door, which Christopher Robin wrote. Could you read it? Christopher Robin told me what it said, and then I could. Well, I'll tell you what this says, and then you'll be able to. So Owl wrote, and this is what he wrote. Hippy pappy Pooh looked on admiringly. I'm just saying a happy birthday, said Owl carelessly. What's a nice long one, said Pooh, very much impressed by it. Well, actually, of course, I'm saying a very happy birthday with love from Pooh. Naturally, it takes a good deal of pencil to say a long thing like that. Oh, I see, said Pooh. While all this was happening, Piglet had gone back to his own house to get Eeyore's balloon. He held it very tightly against himself so that it shouldn't blow away, and he ran as fast as he could to get to Eeyore before Pooh did, for he thought that he would like to be the first one to give a present, just as if he thought just as he thought of it without being told by anybody. And running along and thinking how pleased Eeyore would be, he didn't look where he was going, and suddenly he put his foot in a rabbit hole and fell down flat on his face. Bang! Piglet lay there, wondering what had happened. At first, he thought that the whole world had blown up, and then he thought that perhaps only the forest part of it had, and then he thought that perhaps only he had, and he was now alone in the moon or somewhere and would never see Christopher Robin or Pooh or Eeyore again. And then he thought, well, even if I am on the moon, I needn't be face downwards all the time. So he got up cautiously and looked about him. He was still in the forest. Well, that's funny, he thought. I wonder what that bang was. I couldn't have made such a noise just falling down. And where's my balloon? And what's this small piece of damp rag doing? It was the balloon. Oh, dear, said Piglet. Oh, dearie, dearie, dear. Well, now it's too late. I can't go back, and I haven't another balloon, and perhaps Eeyore doesn't like balloons so very much. So he trotted on, rather sadly now, and down he came to the side of the stream where Eeyore was, and called out to him. Good morning, Eeyore, said Piglet. Good morning, little Piglet, said Eeyore. If it is a good morning, he said, which I doubt, said he. Not that it matters, he said. Many happy returns of the day, said Piglet, having now gotten closer. Eeyore stopped looking at himself in the stream and turned to stare at Piglet. Just say that again, he said. Wait a moment. Balancing on 3 legs, he began to bring his 4th leg very cautiously up to his ear. I did this yesterday, he explained as he fell down for the 3rd time. It's quite easy. It's so I can hear you better. There, that's done it. Now, then, what was it you were saying? He pushed his ear forward with his hoof. "Many happy returns of the day," said Piglet again. "Meaning me?" "Of course, Eeyore." "My birthday?" "Yes." "Me having a real birthday?" "Yes, Eeyore, and I brought you a present." Eeyore took down his right hoof from his right ear, turned round, and with great difficulty put up his left hoof. "I must have that in the other ear," he said. "Now then." "A present," said Piglet very loudly. "Meaning me again?" "Yes." "My birthday still?" "Of course, Eeyore." "Me going on having a real birthday?" "Yes, Eeyore, and I brought you a balloon." "Balloon?" said Eeyore. "You did say balloon? One of those big colored things you blow up? Gaiety, song, and dance, here we are, and there we are?" "Yes, but I'm very sorry, Eeyore, but when I was running along to bring it to you, I fell down." "Dear, dear, how unlucky. You ran too fast, I expect. You didn't hurt yourself, did you, little piglet?" "No, but oh, Eeyore, I burst the balloon." There was a very long silence. "My balloon?" said Eeyore at last. Piglet nodded. "My birthday balloon?" "Yes, Eeyore," said Piglet, sniffling a little. "Here it is, with many happy returns of the day." And he gave Eeyore the small piece of damp rag. "Is this it?" Eeyore said, a little surprised. Piglet nodded. "My present?" Piglet nodded again. "The balloon?" "Yes." "Thank you, Piglet," said Eeyore. "You don't mind me asking," he went on, "but what color was the balloon when it was a balloon?" "Red." "I just wondered. Red," he murmured to himself. "My favorite color. How big was it?" "Oh, about as big as me." "I just wondered. About as big as Piglet," he said to himself sadly. "My favorite size. Well, well." Piglet felt very miserable and didn't know what to say. He was still opening his mouth to begin something and then deciding that it wasn't any good saying that when he heard a shout from the other side of the river, and there was Pooh. "Many happy returns of the day," called Pooh, forgetting that he had already said it. "Thank you, Pooh. I'm having them," said Eeyore gloomily. "I've brought you a little present," said Pooh excitedly. "I've had it," said Eeyore. Pooh now splashed across the stream to Eeyore, and Piglet was sitting a little way off, his head in his paws, snuffling to himself. "It's a useful pot," said Pooh, "and here it is, and it's got 'A very happy birthday with love from Pooh' written on it. That's what all the writing is, and it's for putting things in there." When Eeyore saw the pot, he became quite excited. "Why," he said, "I believe my balloon will just go in that pot." "Oh, no, Eeyore," said Pooh. "Balloons are much too big to go into pots. What you do with a balloon is you hold the balloon and—" "Not mine," said Eeyore proudly. "Look, Piglet." And as Piglet looked sorrowfully around, Eeyore picked up the balloon with his teeth and placed it carefully into the pot, picked it out again and put it on the ground, and then picked it up again and put it carefully back. "So it does," said Pooh. "It goes in." "So it does," said Piglet, "and it comes out." "Doesn't it?" said Eeyore. "It goes in and out like anything." "Oh, I'm very glad," said Pooh happily, "that I thought of giving you a useful pot to put things in." "I'm very glad," said Piglet happily, "that I thought of giving you something to put in a useful pot." But Eeyore wasn't listening. He was taking the balloon out and putting it back again, as happy as could be. "And didn't I give him anything?" asked Christopher Robin sadly. "Well, of course you did," I said. You gave him, don't you remember, a little oh, I gave him a box of paints to paint with. That was it. Why didn't I give it to him in the morning? Well, you were so busy getting his party ready for him. He had a cake with icing on the top and 3 candles and his name in pink sugar and yes, I remember, said Christopher Robin. And that's the end of chapter 6. Next week, we'll read chapter 7, in which Kanga and Baby Roo come to the forest and Piglet has a bath. We'll put our ribbon back for the day, close our book until next Friday. So, wow, Eeyore had a birthday, and everybody seemed to have forgotten initially at first. But when they realized how sad Eeyore was, Pooh and Piglet did their best to make it a special day, and even Owl joined in on the fun. Um, let's keep this in mind as we say to lead with kindness. Try to make other people happy, and maybe what you think isn't the best thing in the world, kind of like Piglet did with Piglet's balloon that he popped, meant all the world to Eeyore. So sometimes just in the little things we do might be great big things to somebody else. And that's all part of leading with kindness. So on this rainy day, which I think is kind of fun because it means we get to go puddle stomping and jump around in the rain and just have fun. Um, on this rainy day, let's remember to just show people just a little extra patience and a little extra time and consideration. It makes all the difference in the world. So, Mariposa, we are thrilled to be able to bring you children's programming. And as always, scrolling down here is our website and our Venmo. If you'd like to see more quality children's programming, we will try our best to bring it to you via the computer or as soon as we can in person and live with our children's classes, theater classes, and productions, as well as our fabulous cabaret series. You can become a member of Patreon, and for as little as $5 a month, even less if that's all you've got in your pocket. It's just a little bit to you, but it's a whole lot to us. Of course, if you can donate more, oh, we'll do such wonderful things with it. But Patreon, all the information is on our website over here about how to become a Patreon member. Donations are tax deductible because Mariposa is a 501c3. And reminders that we have story time every day at 10 o'clock. I'll be back Monday, special guest reader on Wednesday, Miss Karen on Tuesdays and sometimes Thursdays, and sing along on Saturday. So please, please, please join us again. We love having you with us, and we'll see you next time.